Hi, I'm Brenda Benham of Memorable Presenter Consulting. This video is on how to make your informative or technical presentations memorable and engaging. If you are like I used to be as a young lawyer, you may think that your information is simply too dry and too boring to ever be able to make it memorable and engaging. But in fact, you can. And there are 3 reasons that you need to. If you don't, you will just be wasting your time and your breath. Your audience won't remember any of your important information. If you make it memorable and engaging, they will remember your key information and share it with others who need to know. And if you make it memorable and engaging, they will see you as an expert in your field. When it's done wrong, the audience may be sleeping or talking to each other or playing on their phones. They certainly won't be paying attention to you as the presenter. The most common mistakes that people make in informative and detailed presentations is to overwhelm the audience with too many facts and to distract the audience with too much text and data on the slides. What you want to do is engage your audience with relevant stories and use images and titles on every slide. Brain science tells us that people will learn and remember more that way. I'm now going to turn to a Venn diagram to walk you through the various aspects of what makes an informative presentation memorable. There are 3 big things that you need to get right. These are presence, organization, and slides. When these things come together, you will find that you are connecting with your audience, that you're persuading your audience to accept your ideas, and you're engaging your audience with the information that you are presenting. Within each of these 3 areas, there are things to think about. First, confidence. You need to get to the point where you enjoy presenting and have the right level of nervous energy. You need to be excited to be presenting. And every time you present, you need to make great eye contact with your audience, whether online or in person. The next is experience. It is really hard, if this is your first presentation ever, to do one that is memorable and engaging. But it is possible. I had a client who learned a bunch of tools from me and then practiced with her presentation with me, and I gave her supportive feedback. And she said that when she was presenting, she realized that her presentation would be better than those of the people who preceded her, who were much more experienced presenters. So it is possible to get there without being experienced, but experience with the right tools, experience definitely helps. Next is preparation. You need to prepare and practice your presentation until it's inside you, so that this way you can converse with your audience and get all your key information across. So let's turn to organization. First, it really matters how you start your presentation. You need to start by getting the attention of your audience. And one way to do that is with a challenging story. And whether you start with a challenging story or another way to get your audience's attention, you need to use stories in your presentation. These stories need to tie directly to the purpose of your presentation, and you need to craft those stories to engage your audience. Next comes time. You need to know how long you have, and you need to edit and practice so you can finish a few minutes early. You need to organize your speech so that there is logical flow. And what you need to make sure isn't just that it's logical, but that you get your audience's attention, stimulate their desire to know more, present your information in a way that your audience will remember, and finish with a call to action that ideally ties back to your opening. That brings us to your slides. So for slides, the first thing is to make sure that the text on the slide is visible. You need to think about your audience at the back of the room when you present in person, or people with visual handicaps if you're presenting online, and you need to make sure that your text is visible to them. Secondly, your slides need to be effective. And what that means is that you need to include just an image and title with at most 3 very short bullets. And finally, is supportive. Your slide, you need to mindfully develop slides that support your presentation, choosing images that support each point you are making. When you do all of that, it is simply magical. When you get comfortable using these items in your informative presentations, you will give memorable and engaging presentations that get your information across. You will feel competent and be recognized for your expertise. Think of the impact on your career or your business. Now, like many things in life, giving an informative or technical presentation that is memorable and engaging is pretty simple when you have the right tools, but it isn't necessarily easy. The big challenge with giving informative and technical presentations is getting too close to all the amazing things you know about your topic. It is hard to know what to include and what to leave out. It can be hard to know what type of stories to include and where to include them in your presentation. If you've been struggling with your presentations, sometimes a bit of outside perspective from someone who's been there and done that can make all the difference in the world. If you would like to know how memorable and engaging your presentations are, what you're already doing well, and get clarity on areas to focus on, I encourage you to sign up for my 45-minute free AMP Up session. This includes a facilitated self-assessment of the memorability of your presentations, and a link to that, to book a session like that, will be in the comments relating to this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something and will think about taking your next informative and memorable presentation to the next level.